Sometimes I'm like, what does that mean? It means you can watch us live right there on my Facebook page, Pat James Dementry QVC. And if you went there last night, I already posted a picture of my Vegtrug that I was lucky enough to get last summer. It was one of my absolute favorite things I did because I had never grown herbs the way I grew them with the Vegtrug. They were simple. There was no digging in the ground. There was no kneeling. There was no fighting with the bunnies and everybody else who takes part in my garden. This is a beautiful piece of furniture, and it sold out the last 2 days it was on the air. On my Facebook page, you can actually see it planted in my backyard. So you're more than welcome, and you can also leave us comments. I will go ahead and share those with the different vendors if you want to give us any of your insights. Chris Peterson has sold this out the last 2 days, and the first time I was like, Chris, I want a chance. So finally, it's back. Good morning,
Well, especially
Chris.
since you did so much work last summer in our little herb garden. So I know we got some photos later to show all your creations, but this is by far our most popular product in the Vegtrug brand. Vegtrug, it's a lovely company from the United Kingdom, but we're known for raised gardening beds. And as you said, it's just so much easier doing all your gardening standing up. So
and it's so pretty this way. Can we talk about the two choices and then we'll break it down?
You bet,
okay,
you bet,
Chris?
absolutely.
Okay. So the natural is what you're going to get here.
Yes.
Now, this, you don't have to do anything to it, and I left mine outside.
Yeah.
So,
well, we went with cedar, so because we wanted to we knew it was going to be outside all the time, right?
So you don't have to worry about staining or anything else. So that's your natural. This is your gray. Look how pretty that gray is.
This is brand new. I mean, the gray wash is so on trend. I mean, natural goes with everything, but this is sort of just that little more designer step we wanted to take. So we wanted to give people a nice choice here. So
this is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
And Chris knows this. This is, they have larger varieties. They're called growing bags. And this is what makes it so amazing. Actually very neat. So you don't need a whole lot of soil with this. And that's what fits inside your little pockets, if you will. And there's 8 of them.
Yeah, and that's what we want to do. I mean, rather than just a big, wide open space here where things start to crowd each other, we've got 8 individual grow zones. And these are actually quite generous in size. I mean, we're talking about 10.5 inches by 7, I think it's about 7, but then a full half a foot deep. So you actually can get quite a bit of root growth. And because of the material and because this is raised, you get all that oxygen circulating around your roots.
Don't get root rot.
Exactly.
These are fantastic because at the end of the season, this is what you do. Take this, wherever you throw your old dirt. I have a mound that I use as half compost and things like that. And then, voila, you start again.
Start again, and always every spring start with fresh potting soil. That's one of the keys. And with this, because it can be an herb garden, we always suggest a nice organic fertilizer.
Yes.
Because when it is your herb garden, you want to know what's gone into that growing of the herb.
Because you want to be able to walk out the door. And
well, that's what I love, and that's what's so nice about container gardening. It's not, I mean, when I grew up, we had the gardens way off, and that little Energizer bunny, he was fine. He didn't stop. But this is right outside where you're living. So imagine right before dinner, I need a little bit of parsley, I need a little bit of thyme, whatever it is, or even a little bit of veggies. You pick it. It's as fresh as can be. Literally, that's going into your soups, that's going into your sauces, and this just keeps regenerating. So your harvest keeps going throughout the season.
I didn't know what to do with mine.
Well,
I mean, they were so big and it was so easy to grow them. And you can do a little research on either Pinterest or on Google on because some herbs aren't good neighbors. But you can put anything in here and you're not leaning over.
No, that's the traditional gardening way.
Right.
You got to sow the seeds, you got to tend to it, you got to weed it, and with this, the soil is contained as well, so we're not getting all the insects and the critters infesting here, so you don't have to treat it with pesticides, and everything's here nice and convenient. And what we want to do, because we went with these beautiful colors and we went with cedar, is it now becomes part of your landscape on your deck or patio. So it's actually a nice addition. It brings sort of that vertical beauty. I mean, imagine some of these in behind a couch, kind of almost as a sofa table of florals. Yeah, and there you go.
And you do get the shelf on the bottom, which you could use to store things if you wanted to, or you don't have to even put anything there. It's a beautiful piece of furniture. It's very well made.
It really is, and when it's empty, it's nice and light. I mean, it's cedar, but it's I think it's about 17 pounds, so you can position it where you want it, pick that optimal exposure for depending on what you're planting, and then just have fun. So every year you can change up the herbs you like. You know, some, oh geez, I didn't use much of that one. Well, let's try a different one this year. Oh, let's try a little bit of tomatoes, those little cherry tomatoes.
The smaller edibles.
Yeah. You can
either Roberta's or Cottage Farms, I apologize, had the smaller edibles you could put in here. It's a beautiful flower garden. I mean, that becomes part of her deck or her patio.
It really, and she did so much work on those florals, and she's enjoying it.
Yes.
You know, it's right there where...
She's not bending over. No. She's not fighting with, you know, all the little rabbits in your garden.
I think that's your garden.
That is my garden.
That's you starting out last year. So
that was just the beginning. Now watch how it progresses, and it didn't take very long.
No, well, again, good soil, good fertilizing, good moisture, proper drainage, and look at that. It's already started to explode there, which is so exciting.
Okay, wait, there's another progression, and poor Chris, when I saw him, I was like, Chris, this is fantastic, that Vegtrug. Look at that Vegtrug, how tall everything got. Like I said, I didn't know what to do with it after a while. It was so
that's when you can start to share with the family.
Yes, I
did. If they coming over, share some of the fruits of your labor. Have everybody enjoying what you've grown. And again, what you've grown, you've known you've grown this broccoli, or you know you've grown that parsley. So you know it's fresh, you know it's organic. I mean, organic stores are so expensive.
Oh, they're ridiculous.
And it's not really that fresh by the time it gets from the farm to your table. This is fresh. This is 2-minute fresh into all your foods.
Well, plus and how expensive herbs are when you buy them in the store. You and I were talking about that. But you can do more than just herbs. You could do berries in here if you wanted to. You could do beautiful flowers. Maybe this is a gift that you give to someone. This is under $100, and it's really very impressive. I mean, you can see the size of it. Do you see? It's 30 3/4 wide, 22 long, and 32 inches high. What do I have to do to put it together?
Well, there is a little bit of assembly, but take a look on QVC.com. We have detailed instructions, but it's always nice to watch a video. So it's there's a few screws that go in the top here, okay? And then screw in the bottom, but then the top here is these just fit into place. So it's fairly simple to follow along and assemble it, but there is a video just to help you out, and then these just sit into place, and then you start gardening.
You reuse these. These garden grow bags are amazing. I use them in a larger variety to plant my potatoes and my pumpkins and squash and all kinds of things, and year after year you reuse them. That's the beauty of it. But instead of gardening down here, now you're gardening up here, and everyone can enjoy it. Over 600 of you have already dialed in. Chris, thank you so very much for bringing this back. You know how disappointed I was when it sold out. And it did sell out the last 2 days. 600 just ordered. We'll send it right off to you. 4 easy pays of $24.99 using any credit card, and 56497. And here's one of those ideas on what you might use in your Vegtrug. It's from Roberta's. Thank you so much, Chris. Really appreciate it. By the way,